Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's get this party started. Today's video, let's put the top end on our 026 Ultimate Firewood, Ultimate Old Man Saw. And like I've mentioned before, I'm going to run this saw in, and eventually, once I'm happy with it, I will give it away to one of you guys that watch. So, how do you enter? I've been asked that. Just by being here. If you comment and you take part in this community, you are always entered in every giveaway that we do. So anyhow, today's video, let's put the top end on. I think this is the most important part of a build other than the bottom end, but you guys have seen we built this bottom end. This can be stressful if you're a new builder. It's super easy. It's not the most complicated thing, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Let's get started. So first thing I did, washed everything. My hands, all the parts have been thoroughly washed. Around my finger, around any of those ports that we may have ported. Okay, take your finger, run it over those ports. Should feel slippery like glass. If it feels sharp, well, you got more polishing to do. I made a new homemade gasket. The other one had one little spot where it kind of frayed on the side. I didn't like that. So again, made a new gasket. Okay, dug out our 4 cylinder bolts, washed them, cleaned them. Okay, I have our new cable rings that come with the meter piston ready to go. Our piston has been cleaned, and again, around my fingers through there. Now, I have put one wrist pin circlip in. You can see it. It's right there. After I put them in, I take a clean screwdriver and I go in and I push them and make sure they move. If I can move them a full rotation without them coming out of the groove there, I know that they're not going to come out. Also, opening to the bottom, okay? You want the opening in the wrist pin circlip to the bottom. Okay, and we have the wrist pin. So, let's get this party started. I'm not going to use any glue on this one. This one's just going to be a straight base gasket. First things first, take our fancy little oiler. Okay, just a little bit of oil, a drop on each side. Okay, that's all you need. Take this, put it at top dead center. Okay, and put that in there. Next thing I'm going to do, just going to put 1 or 2 more drops of oil in this big end bearing. Now, in the last video, we oiled and put seals in the bottom end, the crank bearings. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a little bit of oil. I'm just going to put it on here. Okay, arrow faces forward. If you don't have an arrow on your piston, look where the circlips or the ring clips are. Okay, right here. That's the pin that keeps the ring from spinning around. That's on the intake side generally. Okay, so all we're going to do, I know that this side, it's really hard for me to get my hands in there, so I put the circlip on this side of the piston because I know I'm going to want to work left to right. Now, all I'm going to do, and you know what's funny, friends? I actually put the clip on the wrong side, so, well, I guess we're going to do it on the hard side. Not that there really is a hard side on this saw, but, okay, put that in there, push it through, all the way. Now, I'm going to try and do this on video. These are really hard because they're so tiny. I sent the last one flying, so we're going to try not to do that because I don't have a lot of clips this size. Okay, here's how I do it. I lean it in on an angle. I stick my thumb over the part that's sticking out, and then there's a little spot right here. You guys see that? To get a screwdriver in there or a tool, okay? So that's the part I leave hanging out. Okay, so you see, difficult to do with these big sausage fingers that I sport, but I've had these things my whole life, so not much I can do other than use them. Okay, I stick my thumb over it. I grab the edge. Okay, I grab the edge right where that little recess is. Okay, and I push it in. There you go, and down and in. Okay, I heard it click into place, and then I take this and I spin it. See if we can do that on video here. There you go. I'm actually spinning it around. And then I'll go the other way and spin it back. Okay, if you can do that, you know it's in there and it's not going to come apart. Okay, so it's actually just that simple. Again, there's our, I don't even know if you guys can see this. There it is right there, opening to the bottom, and the other side is the same. Okay, next thing is grab your rings. Grab your rings. I clean these even though they came straight out of the box. There's the end of them. They're cut in a way that the retaining pin, okay, will hold them. Now, usually you want to put these in. Usually you want to put these in off the saw, but I figured I'd just do it this way for you guys. These ones are actually, these particular rings, they're not overly tight on the pistons, so they're not horrible. Okay, now all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put like a drop or two of oil, just a little bit, on each of these rings. Now, because these are so loose, I'm going to have to really pay attention when I'm putting these things together. Now, a better way to do this than I'm going to do it would probably be using one of those fancy ring tools, which I'm probably not going to use because I have them somewhere. Okay, make sure our base gasket lines up. Okay. Just looking at this one more time to make sure it's not going to get caught by the piston going up and down. Now I'm just going to take this, I'm going to slide it over here. Again, I probably should have put those rings on first, but it is what it is. Okay. Now, I'm just making sure this is going to fit, and it's actually not. I should have fit this first. So again, I'm going to pull it back off. I got to trim this side a little bit thinner. Okay, that seems to fit nicely now. Now I'm going to see, first thing, a little bit of oil. Just a little bit in the cylinder. I don't like to over oil these. Just enough that it's not going up and down dry when you first put it together. Okay, take this. Ooh, you guys still there? You still alive? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to stick my hand through my tripod. Now, I might have to find my ring compressors because see if we can do this without the ring compressors. Again, Stihls I find are a little harder to put together. They're a little harder to work on. That doesn't mean I don't like them. Just if you're talking apples to apples. Okay, I'm grabbing my ring compressor. I haven't used one of these forever. They do work good though. If you don't have one of these, use a zip tie. I've seen guys do that. Okay, just lining it up. There you go. These do work great. I never use them. Most of the saws I build are single ring, so. Okay, just gonna stick that down. One. Now, normally I put top ends on and then I'll let them sit for a bit because mine typically have glue on them. Don't have that problem here, but I just thought I got a little bit of time tonight after we actually went out cruising. Cruise night in Winnipeg is Sunday night. If you're ever in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which I don't know if any of you would ever come here, but Sunday night on Portage Avenue and Main Street in Winnipeg is cruise night. A lot of hot rodders in Winnipeg, a lot of car people. Probably has something to do with the winter months. good way to pass the time is to build a hot rod in your shop. But there we go. Just have to wiggle this thing a little bit. Yeah, my daughter loves cruise night, the motorcycles and hot rods and big trucks. Just absolutely loves them. So we shine up the old Power Stroke and take her for a spin, which is funny because that's my water hauling truck. It's the best vehicle I've ever had because it's a good, we go to the lake with that sometimes. Grocery getter, she'll pull. The guy that sold that thing to me, that was the last thing he said. He looked at me and he's like, she'll pull. And now that thing's so vintage that, people check it out on cruise night. But anyway, so we're doing that tonight. Just got home. It's cool that my kid likes the things that I like. But yeah, so again, all four corners. I'm really compressing this gasket. And oh, she's tight now. There we go. You can hear those brand new rings filing. Off camera. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be okay. Off camera, friends, one thing that I did do is green Scotch-Brite. Went all the way around the bore, scuffed it up good so that it is 100% ready for a new set of rings. Okay, no issues. Put my thumb over there. Oh yeah, I can't even turn it over, friends. So this thing's gonna thump good, real good. Okay, friends, so how long did that take? 10, 11 minutes? Wow, this thing feels like it's gonna have some good thump to it. Just looking at my yeah, this piston right now, friends, it feels like those rings are sharp. You can feel it. Now, again, I want you guys to look at that. I mimicked the roof of the intake with how I cut it, okay? And if you look on this saw, both rings are in the intake. That shows you a little bit better of how it's going to open. Okay. There she is. So she's going to open, instead of opening here, okay, instead of opening there later, she's opening there. You see that? That's the difference. That's all porting is. You're changing the timing, the flow characteristics, and the efficiency of the saw. There's many different ways to do it. Guys love to argue that their way is the only way. And friends, all I can tell you, anybody that tells you their way is the only way, you should probably start questioning that, because I don't know, my way is one of the ways. It's definitely not the only way. If it was the only way, the other folks that build saws around wouldn't have strong running saws with completely different moves. I just do things how I do them, and this works. It's kind of like brand loyalty, friends. Somebody that's like, oh, you drive a Chevy? Well, I'm a Ford guy. When people talk that way, I tend to stop listening pretty quick. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyhow, friends, a simple, legit port job that anybody can do. Any one of you guys can do this at home. I guarantee it. With nothing more than a Dremel. Oh, she's tight. I think she's going to be a good saw. Anyhow, that's the top end. Next time you guys see this, we'll start assembling the rest of it, and hopefully we'll get it running pretty lickety split. I don't have any parts I need. everything I have has been ordered and everything I need is in this shop. So we can get this thing back together and running. Okay, well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to do this one like shot for shot, every last piece. I've filmed and edited and put up on YouTube. I'm glad a lot of you guys have been here the whole series, and I'll just keep adding these to the playlist. But this thing feels like a new saw now. Like, she's stiff, and I think she's going to be good. And again, friends, you know what's funny about all this? This saw might not even run. I've had this saw, briefly fired up for like 4 seconds on the bench. That's the funny part about stuff like this. You never know what this saw is going to do until it does it. So, I don't count my chickens before they've hatched. All I can do is replace all the parts that I know to wear and put the saw together to the best of my abilities, and the rest is just luck. But anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and hope that helps you guys complete or getting closer to completing your saws. It's really simple. Practice makes perfect. The more times you do stuff like this, the easier it gets. And pretty much, I just dropped a socket there, friends. Pretty much every saw goes together 80%, 90% the same. So once you start working on one saw and you do another and another and another, they're all pretty much the same. And you start going, wait a minute, this is like XYZ saw that I did last year. So don't let this stuff intimidate you. Anybody can work on this. These are the simplest of machines to build. Thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.